Hey you guys, what up? It's your boy Ty. So we are back today with a recap. Of course the episode comes on tonight, so obviously we're not recapping that. We are going to be recapping the Shamea Carlos King interview. So my reasons for wanting to review this was just to kind of, I've been watching a couple videos here and there. I've been seeing more so people's reactions because when I talk about something, I don't want to watch too much of what everybody else is thinking so it seeps into what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want to just watch it, have my own perspective. And then once I at least record the video, then, I can go watch other people's reviews and stuff while I'm editing and stuff like that. But at any rate, I hope y'all are doing well today. My bad. I just walked in the house and started speaking. But I hope y'all are doing well today. I just got back from out of town. I definitely won't forget that trip. Good times were had. Yeah. That's how I sum that up. And I'm mad because we didn't get to go to this black-owned spot that I wanted to go to. So now my ass, as soon as I get done with this video, I'm about to be put some wings in the air fryer, trying to get these wings to look like the wings I want. Imposter syndrome. So at any rate, with that being said, my reasoning for wanting to recap the Shamea Carlos King interview, I have just been seeing the way that people have been responding to Shamea, and I feel like she can't win for losing. I agree with her when I say there is some colorism afoot with how she's perceived amongst the audience. For y'all to think that we literally walk amongst people who are racist, who are homophobic, who are colorist, who are all of the isms, all of the ways that you can pick on somebody for not being straight, white, male, thin, and able-bodied. We literally walk amongst people who exude those nasty behaviors every day. I don't know why y'all think they sit in front of a TV screen and all of a sudden that shit goes out of their head because, oh, it's a reality show. Like, no, that's not how life works. We've seen how the colorism was handled on Real Housewives of Potomac. And as I pointed out earlier on this show, season 8 reunion, Kenya was the only one to hold Phaedra to task after she said something was too dark like Kenya.
When you were with Portia, you said, oh, it's too dark just like Kenya. You're insulting a group of people. I'm black, I'm proud, I'm dark, I love it. I love all this chocolate, and so does anyone else.
So nobody is absent of having, like, I don't care if you suck black dick. I don't care if you ride black dick till your knees go out and you ain't making a stallion no more. That don't motherfucking matter. Like, you could be colorist, you could be racist, you could be all those things, and it seeps into how you perceive people in your everyday life. And that includes the TV shows you watch, bitch. Because I'm sick of y'all asses acting like somebody's reaching with real life isms. I don't know. I saw how the people get down on Real Housewives of Potomac. And I'm willing to think, like, for me, this is just a theory I have, and then we're going to get into the recap. I feel like a lot of y'all Zeus type of watchers, y'all came season 5 with Monique and Candace. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? If you really go back and watch that situation, Monique, she had did that to Giselle or her friend Gigi. Okay, it makes sense. But Candace ain't do shit to this girl. She apologized the whole fucking season. Y'all just don't like Candace, so you made it okay in your mind for Monique to do that to Candace. But she apologized to her at every other turn. And then at that vineyard, she said, bitch, you want to go? Let's go. And she really didn't even go there with her like that because I think Candace viewed Monique as a real friend. She literally just said, I'm bored, we're asleep, we're tired. If that is grounds enough for somebody to root you like this and pull your hair down and start punching you, then that says a lot about y'all who agree with that. Like, a lot more than, like, Candace. Like, but at any rate, I have a theory that those people came in. And then there's the thing of, the black housewives versus the white housewives. Some of us watch some of the white housewives shows, but a lot of black viewers probably just watch Potomac and Atlanta because it's a black cast. Similar to how other races do things because the race of that person is the same. So let's not act like that's a black only thing. That's not a white only. It's every race is tribal in certain ways. So nonetheless, I feel like some of that crowd probably is watching Atlanta. And they didn't have the depth and perception for the colorism conversations then, and they don't have it now. They want violence. They want people to read, destroy each other's livelihoods. They don't want what the show, in essence, was. Potomac has always been kind of just... it's been some funny ass moments, but in terms of girlfriend, in terms of real life women having friendships, they never had that good foundation that I felt Atlanta had. Excuse me. But or once had. But, you know, like I stated before in reviews, this ain't the show for that anymore. Right now we getting baddies of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Hip Hop Atlanta in my Jocelyn. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this review. So I'm gonna try to rush through this because I want those wings so bad. But so I put I love the intro, and Shamea has an amazing voice. And then I put Miss Morton. Wait, that plate. I don't know why I put plate, because I was talking about her wig. I'm just saying, it was a lot going on with the wig. I realize that's a thing, though. I feel like with church ladies, it's just, you know, you're going to get some wins and some losses if they don't wear their real hair. I don't know. Shamea definitely favors her mother, though. And her sister, too. Or her sister, like, they both favor the mother, looks-wise. But I put, next, I put, Shamea looks like a Barbie. Like, she looks really, really pretty in this, thing. That's one of the things I gave her on my last review. I said she definitely stepped up her looks. And even when she was a friend of, like, I don't remember her just coming on looking a mess, but I think it was like maybe her first season. It's just like, oh, I got to bring the wealth. I got to show this. I got to show. It was just a little overkill. But she looked very, very good in this interview to start off. Saying that. My next point is I see where Shamea gets her crassness from. When her mama said, from liver quiver, whatever she said, make her liver quiver, is diabolical.
Okay, now wait just 1 second, glasses.
So when she said that, I instantly knew, oh, this is where Shamea get her crassness from. And it's actually kind of funny to me because the juxtaposition of holy lady, liver quiver. Now, I don't believe you should just, join a religion and act like you don't have sex and you don't have a life. You know what I'm saying, outside of your religion, but that was interesting. But it showed me a lot about why Shamea blurts out certain things and says certain things. I believe Shamea has not had an affair. However, I did put, and this may not be now because Gerald is 64, but he still looks well for his age. They look like they love each other. They do look like they have chemistry. When I smiled, found myself smiling at the end watching them. So I can see them still being active in that way. But they may get a Karen Huger Ray alleged arrangement going on, being that he is older than her as they progress on. Or that may be something they have now. Who knows? But I do believe I don't believe she had an affair. Especially not, I don't think, like I put this on Twitter and I said, it's so funny when you get a bitch and all they can say is K or KK. Because, bitch, you can't fight back or refute what I'm saying. But I think it was one of those exchanges. Let me see. Hell, if I ain't blocked now. Okay, there we go. So it was the clip where she said, why would I sleep with the players when my husband could own the team? And it's so funny how people are like, oh, well, that really doesn't... Don't get me wrong. If a man wants to cheat, they want to cheat. But I feel like if Portia had said that and she had Shamea's life, everybody would have ate that shit up. A lot of y'all was trying to act like, oh, that don't mean anything, da-da-da, this and the third. To me, it ate. But nonetheless, I did comment, I believe her. Portia and Shamea are very similar. Don't get me wrong. Like how Erica De Niro says, Ronnie and Trix. Shamea just happened to get her the African that she wanted, and his money seems to be legitimate. It ain't some funny shit. But they both wanted to set out, get a rich African. It worked out for Shamea. It didn't work out for Portia. That's probably played into the dynamic of their relationship. Hence, Portia saying, "Housewives is my shit. I just want to have my shit." Nonetheless, I said I believe her. Portia and Shamea are very similar, but Shamea doesn't give me fucking at work / mixing biz with personal like that. And then I put, now Miss Bolo on the other hand, with the dead face emoji. Here comes this person. You don't know these people. How would you know anything in regards to who she would fuck or wouldn't? Y'all are really delusional as hell watching these folks on the TV show. And I said, yeah, for regular celebrities that may work, but for people who have been on TV for more than 10 years plus, that point is mute. Like, we don't mute. I don't know Portia's middle name. I don't know her zodiac sign. I don't know, and I mean, she's probably mentioned that on the show, but I don't know her, sun and rising, but I know enough about her from watching her over fucking 10 years of TV. If y'all don't know these people a little bit, you just ain't watching TV. You just watching for the reads, I guess. Like, we know their attributes. Portia, fun time, party girl. Go out with her, have a good time. Don't tell her none of your fucking secrets unless you ain't worried about that secret getting out there. Phaedra, connected, well connected. Don't tell her none of your secrets unless you want them bitches getting out there. Like, we see their personalities within 10 plus years of watching them. And then I also said, she also quite literally fucked the stripper while she was at work. And then I put in parentheses, a cash stripper still works, so that's how I would know. LOL. Like, she did it. And they put K with a period, so you know that bitch was pressed. But neither here nor there. Oh my God. Shout out to Eric Mays. May he rest in peace. Do I have the floor? Yes, you do.
Do I have the floor? Do I?
Yes, you do.
But at any rate, I said all that to say, I believe Shamea when she says she didn't. I don't see her fucking up. That I just don't look at Shamea like, yeah, her and Portia are similar, but I don't think Shamea's reckless like that. You move a little different when you got a man that can buy you a $9 million mansion. Like, you just not going to be sloppy like that. That's not to say they don't have an arrangement or she's never stepped out on him, but I don't think it's with people she works so closely to. So I put, I like how she acknowledged that colorism may be a factor, but she also left room for favoritism with the OGs. And, other things that people, preconceived notions that they may have from watching her in a friend of role. I don't know if she said all that, but that was something I thought about. Let me see something. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I wanted to jump on this transphobia thing real quick. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. If we're going to let Angela, who is mostly considered a light-skinned woman, until colorism comes up, then y'all gonna try to make her brown skin. But if we're going to consider Angela a light-skinned woman and allow her to apologize for calling Shamea Flavor Flav, yeah, she dressed as Flavor Flav. Yeah, she was definitely Portia's hype man in the past, but it's just not a good look. But yeah, if we let that slide, then I don't give a fuck about Bigfoot. You called her a whole fucking man, and an ugly ass one at that. I'll never forget, I was around somebody, a family friend, and one of my relatives told them they resemble Kodak Black. And I just looked, and I was like, after we just got done talking about how ugly he is, and it was like,
Bitch.
so, and she cussed her out without cussing her out. I'll say that much. But I said, and told her to get the fuck out of her house. My God, today. I put, for my next bulletin point, she's right. They keep trying to goad her to discuss Portia. Like, they keep trying to do it. And it's something so, I didn't notice this last year until somebody broke it down. And I correlated to how Pinky was being vulnerable with Angela on the plane about her bankruptcies and her businesses. And let's be very clear. This is not Housewives of back in the day where these women had actual authentic friendships like that. Like, it was nice to see them rally around Angela, but we know that most of them are not friends like that. They're at work. But it is still, all that being taken into account of, it's still villainous in a little, how should I say, it's vile the way that these women weaponize vulnerability. Like, Shamea really thought she was coming to Angela and Drew and confiding in them. Maybe not Drew, but definitely Angela. And I mean, I get it. Angela wanted to get her lit back. You laughing at my husband, you know, Portia saying she want to fuck him, whatever. But like I said, that's cool back then. But now the way that Drew and Angela are moving around Portia is weird as fuck. It's given we're in the cool girl crowd and we don't care. Like I said, unless they get the reunion and drop some hella receipts on her ass and say, Shamea, we sorry for you as, you know, the scapegoat. We just need to do our big one at this reunion shit. Like, unless they do that, I'm not going to be able to, like, they're going to look like clowns to me for this season. We'll see how it plays out, but it ain't looking too good. But it is very disgusting how I think Shamea really thought she was confiding in them, not talking trash about Portia, but saying the times that she made her feel like trash. Like, that's two different things. If you have a friend group, that reminds me, I need to call. To make a call. But if you have a friend group, it's not weird for friends to, especially of multiple years, it's not weird for those friends to reach out to each other and maybe discuss how to navigate a situation if they, you know, want to get something off of their chest, or just discussing the way that they felt. That's not weird. That's not fake. That's not two-faced. Like, other friends may prefer you come directly to them. However, with people like Portia, the reason why you need to come to her is the same reason K. Michelle needed to come to her. So she could clean the narrative and steer it in the direction she wanted it to go. That's why Portia was mad about K. Michelle coming to everybody but her. Because now you've included other people, so I can't control the narrative. I can't control the scene how I want to. Because at the end of the day, I know I talk shit about you to Naj. And I told you to your face. And ain't nobody acting like I told you to your face that I was talking about you. All good things, all good things. Yeah, Portia, with that track record, no, baby. Not at all. Don't believe it. Nonetheless, them being family friends, I put that makes sense. Also for people who are slow, because a lot of y'all are like, oh, well, she said they're friends with women and they're not. Bitch, if you friends with somebody for 20 fucking years, bitch. If you friends with somebody for 20 years, bitch, some of y'all can't keep friends for 20 months, bitch. But if you're friends with somebody for fucking 20 years, you're not going to be tight to the hip for the whole extent of those 20 plus years. I didn't think we needed to explain that, but some of y'all poured the goddamn milk before the cereal, and that's okay. So I'm here for you. Let me get this brightness together. Goddamn, oh, hell no. What the fuck? Okay, all right, there we go. So at any rate, next I put, Shamea, how the fuck are you a psychology graduate and friends with Portia? Next bulletin point I put, I feel like that question, it speaks enough. I don't even have to elaborate on it. I think Portia is psycho. I think she's a nutcase. I do. Pretty. Probably fun to hang out with. Definitely another party spots. Have a good time. But that's about it. Like, insane. Psychotic. Y'all need to go watch. The problem is, a lot of y'all some of y'all just gonna kiss her ass anyways. But if you watch Portia's Family Matters and read her book, I think that'll give you more of a glimpse into who Portia really is. But watching her Family Matters scene where she was going off on her cousin who passed, if I'm not mistaken, Londi, and then once she saw or like went to the bathroom and adjusted herself and noticed how she was gonna look on the cameras, she came back as this whole sympathizing, caring acting role, because that's what it was. It wasn't a person. Portia to me is not a person. I don't know what happened. Maybe Shamea having her whole family versus Portia just having Diane. And her dad, when he was there, I don't know. And then even I've heard like the Hosea family really don't even like them claiming that name like that. I don't know. I wasn't there. But nonetheless, I wonder if Shamea was jealous Portia was jealous they chose Shamea over her. I'm pretty sure she was. The music group back in the day. Because Portia and Shamea auditioned, but only Shamea was accepted. And then I stopped and I put Shamea is stunning. Like, she is really fucking beautiful. That's when I know it's colorism. When y'all try to say Shamea's ugly, no. And then let's see. No, Not Yet took me out when Carlos was like, asked if she was gay or had any type of this and the third. Now I will say as far as that, I don't believe you need to get in front of every lie that somebody tells you, but the way she reacted when Portia said, I kiss Ken in the club and you kiss Ken in the club, I just was like, I was looking at it more so as, oh, Portia is really done with Shamea. Like, not that she defended her that much when they were friends on the show and stuff, but she's really just throwing shit out that, like, Gerald might not be fond of. It didn't even have to go there. That's kind of where my mindset was at. I wasn't really metabolizing if it was true or not, because, I mean, Candy is fluid. If you hang with Portia, I assume you have to be somewhat fluid. Like, you know, that close in proximity to her. And then I also think back to the scene with Kelly and when she was describing Shamea's ass and saying it was juicy and then she was feeling all on it and then like the way Shamea was sipping that drink. I don't know if I believe that, but I will say Shamea obviously comes from a heavily religious background, and then her husband is also Kenyan. And Shamea is a people pleaser. So even if that was true, I don't know if Shamea would be that forthcoming with that information, just based on her background, based on who she married. I don't know about that. Like, we got to keep it so fucking for real. Shamea, African American, if I'm not mistaken. Her husband, Kenyan. Black people of all diasporas, we may have beef with each other and some stuff that we need to iron out. But one thing y'all hoes is united on is homophobia. Amen, baby. Amen. Let the church say amen.
Let's work on that.
Y'all will Lucius Lyon the fuck out of your son if you think he Jamal, baby. Look at y'all, unity. UNITY.
The volume is real loud over there.
Let's see. I am confused about the Phaedra finger scene or not. I would have just liked her, and this is where Shamea is going to get on my nerves if she does this during the reunion. Excuse me. Standing your shit. When she said, it was my lick back, I would have just said, editing Tyson here. Actually, what the fuck I would have said was divine alignment. And then for me, I mean, yeah, I would just like that more. I was gonna go into this what if about, like, I mean, we know Sheree messy as hell, so even if she didn't see the scene, Sheree might have, I don't know if she would have do that or not. I don't know if she might have heard wind of it from production, especially if they were testing her for season 10. I don't know when they started doing that. I don't know if they saw her eviscerate Phaedra at the reunion real quick and cross her legs and then said, we want her, or if they wanted her throughout season 9 and, production was kind of like, I don't know. Because what I realized about Shamea is, like, I'm going to take what she says at face value, but I realized Shamea don't always recall stuff correctly. And I don't even think I think she got memory issues. I really do. Because even like K. Michelle, she said her titties was up to here. She didn't say they was out. She just said it was up to here. I do get that kind of more so, her misunderstanding that, but like her misunderstanding Kelly in a moment, like, okay, for instance, I think she truly thought Phaedra said that Pinky Cole ate meat. I think Kelly ass knew for damn sure that when she heard Pinky talk about Phaedra saying that, she knew, she remembered in that moment based on the face she made. Oh shit, I said this bitch had a steak. I do think Shamea just misremembered the shit. And I also think to act like Phaedra, who is a lawyer, does not know how to work implications and throwing shit out, just throwing out enough. You didn't say that she ate meat, but you said, yeah, she was selling meat, honey. You're trying to discredit her veganism. So it's not like, Phaedra's a lawyer. If y'all gonna let that shit work on y'all, that's cool. But that's like somebody saying, I don't know, I threw something at you and it landed by you. It didn't hit you. At that point, I don't give a fuck. You just threw something at me. Like, I don't care that you missed. Like, but y'all gonna allow whoever to get along or away with whatever, based on how you like them. It is what it is. I think for me, where I land at with that is I really don't care, because even if Shamea didn't know, in real time, Portia was still not being a loyal friend to her. And as we go through the timeline, like y'all mentioned season 16, Shamea has been a lapdog for Portia. Or I don't want to say a lapdog because I don't like that shit. Like, I don't like calling black women animals. I get it's a phrase, and I get why we saying it. And it fits. And I mean, I can't even say that because you done posted a picture on her lap with the tongue out. Oh my God. At any rate, I hate that for her. I really do. But nonetheless, with her being Portia's henchman in the past, like she rode for her in season 13 as well. So when the whole Bolo thing was going on, and then like was going at it with Marlo on behalf of Portia. So the conclusion of their friendship is Shamea was not perfect, Portia was not perfect. Shamea definitely rode for Portia more than Portia rode for Shamea. That's not something we can refute. That's not something we can deny. One person went to one person's 2 weddings, if I'm not mistaken. The other person had this excuse that day. The next day they had this excuse. Fast forward to 2 years later. Now we got to talk about it on camera. Now you got a different excuse. No, as I said, the truth don't need preparation. If she was sick, she would have been sick all 3 of those times. It wouldn't have been, oh, I got an issue with, I can't even remember what Portia said. She be lying all the fucking time. I think she was talking about, like, she said a health issue at one point. Then she tried to throw her pregnancy in there. But pull a fucking Kim Zolciak. Girl, you could have traveled. You could have traveled to her fucking wedding. You missed both of her weddings. Then she playing her music. Now you talking about some, oh, is that Drew? Is that Drew? That doesn't sound like you. How would y'all react if y'all friends do that? The people that's, like, people, Portia defenders, Portia's puddles, as Erica De Niro calls them. Because y'all not that fucking deep. How would you feel if you're playing your music or your craft for your friend and they say, is that you? Is that not you? How would you feel if a woman who is forming a friendship with you, y'all are not the best of friends, but you're hanging out, and now she's with your nigga? And then we find out she done been with your nigga, allegedly for a year plus. Do I need to keep tapping this motherfucking camera? I don't understand. Y'all be defending shit that I just don't. For me, when I look at somebody's behavior, I have a shred of how would I feel if I was in this situation for me. So when people come to their conclusions about Portia and it's favorable in terms of her behavior, we can always give her looks, how she put on the outfit, her body. I mean, that ass looked like it hurt. She got a little type of walk. It looked like it hurt. But whatever. Overall, she looked good. We can always give her that. But her friendships on this show have been shit. From Candy to Kenya. I don't even know what her and Phaedra are at this point.
You know, if they got the capital, got the money. What's it for the money? You got the money for the pussy.
Cynthia going along to get along. The way she treats her sister, the way she treated Lauren when Lauren was pregnant, and I don't care what nobody says, Portia got pregnant because Lauren was pregnant. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I don't. You're not going to convince me otherwise. That Jezebel envious spirit. And Drew, now you cozying up to that Jezebel. Now that you got a seat at the table, I see you, baby. I mean, girl, you a Gretchen.
Wow, I'm dead.
Let me stop. Still like the music, though. And that's the thing. Like, we're just watching the show breaking shit down. I still like certain things about these people, but you trifling, you're trifling. But at any rate, as Shamea said, call him out, Shamea. There's been more forgiven for less. Literally more forgiven for less. And Portia is the biggest example of that. Portia said she should fuck Charles. And then when Angela brought the smoke to her, she running away, she's scared, and now she want to apologize. No, you couldn't stand on it in a moment. That's what I don't like about Portia. Stand on that shit in the moment. But you know, Angela give your ass some work. Because Angela look like she might get scrapped now. I don't really care about being from Chicago. People from Chicago get shot and get their ass whooped every day. So I don't really care about that part. Excuse me. But I'm just saying based on, like, Jamie, that is a fight that Portia, I think, knew. She wasn't going to really, she had that. Kenya, she knew Kenya was not going to throw no hands with her on the television screen. Like, she very strategic with who she going to attack. Let's just say that. Cynthia, I don't think she expected Cynthia to kick on the cooch. But she did.
Now, what else is going on?
But, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless. And then I put, damn, Shamea, I can't get my body to work for him. That hurt my heart to hear that. Like, it actually hurt my heart. I still stand on my stance that y'all could just fucking adopt. And she did say in the interview, they have now had conversations. We have to remind ourselves this is being filmed last year. So maybe they were like, hey, let's put it into high gear for the IVF one more time. I think it should have been conversations about this, but neither here nor there, that's their family. That's how they're going to plan it. Yeah. I am glad Carlos fed into her. Yeah, I also put Shamea doesn't really correctly. Oh, doesn't. What does that say? Oh, that's separate. But like I said, I'm glad Carlos fed into her during that moment. It's so sad because you'll watch Carlos King and how he talks to the women on his network. And it's like, you really hate women, the way you be setting them up with these ancient ass niggas and telling them just to, like, the Love and Hip Marriage, Huntsville reunion. Oh my God today. Like, it's just so sad how society and people alike will keep women in these destitute ass relationships to serve their men. And it's like, Marceau, you didn't make that motherfucking house, bitch. You didn't have years. At this point, you twinning with Sheree. It don't take that long to get a goddamn house built, and your house ain't gonna be half as big as hers. So what's the fucking hold up, my nigga? You talking about, so you gotta go hunt in the field and go. Anytime a nigga talking about that shit, he's talking about the idealized version of what a man is to him. Ain't nobody hunting, bitch. Y'all call contractors. Y'all call plumbers to get y'all toilet fixed. Half y'all niggas don't even know how to change your fucking tire, nigga. Wake the fuck up.
I know he raps, but I don't know what he raps about.
At any rate, that's a whole nother show. I'm going back. I'm sorry. I put Shamina, LMAO. That was funny when they went back and forth. Carlos and Shamia have good. I like them. Like, it's like watching friends talk. Most of his interviews are like that, but I really did like this one. I put, for my next bullet point, I'm more inclined to believe Shamia's story. I do want to acknowledge Kay's pain. However, I think this thing here is Shamea doesn't always, I don't know why I put really, because what I meant to put was remember correct. Oh, recall, there we go. Doesn't always recall correctly. And then I put dash, Kay exaggerates. So with this story, and I said this on social media, I said I would want to know how Shamea, and I think I said it in my last review, I would want to know how Shamea said this to Kay. And it's coming off like Shamea and K. Michelle were going to hang out. Or not K. Michelle. Shamea, Candy, that crowd of people were going to hang out. I don't know if Rashida was going to be there or Tori was going to be there or not. But y'all know K. Michelle or Candy is very big on loyalty. And she told Shamea, I don't have a problem with Kay. I like her, but, you know, Rashida's my girl. I can't, you know. So that, I can see that happening in that conversation. And then Shamea, in her people-pleasing way, I don't really care about what they got going on, though. I want to be there for you. And Kay feeling offended because that's the, like, you know, and it made sense, too, because when she said Candy coded, I was like, well, then, I don't recall Candy having anything directly to do with K. Michelle. But neither here nor there, it makes sense how Shamea explained it more to me. I just don't see, like I said, Shamea and Portia are similar, but Portia and that passive aggressive and that aggressive behavior, like, I don't see that same type of aggression in Shamea. Shamea is more passive aggressive. I also don't think Shamea is like necessarily a mean person. Now, she's probably sat there and watched Portia tear into somebody maybe once or twice and probably should have spoke up. Maybe so. I don't know. But I don't take her as like a mean person, like to just throw that in K. Michelle's face like that. It didn't have to be said, but the way that she explained it kind of makes more sense to me. Because, I mean, obviously, you know, if you ask me, hey, can I come hang out with y'all? And I'm hanging out with somebody who, you know, y'all ain't really on the same page, you know? I can see somebody being like, not this time, you know, so-and-so is with me. I just want you to know. And then once I catch up with you later, I just want you to know I got your back. I'm friends with you. I don't care what everybody else is talking about. That's how it seemed like it happened to me. But I also want to acknowledge I can see K. Michelle's pain and it's still hurting her. Because I think K. Michelle has done a lot for herself since Love and Hip Hop. I just don't think she's sat down in a therapist chair per se. It doesn't. I listened to a lot of her interviews. I don't recall her talking about therapy. And she's getting better. Because I feel like Drew wanted Red with K. Michelle. I feel like she wanted her. And if that happened back on Love and Hip Hop, I don't know how that would have fared. All that damn passive aggressiveness, Drew crowd. But at any rate, and then the standing up too in Dallas, like it was, I don't know if that would have went the same way. So I'm not saying K. Michelle's not have any growth, but the way things are still raw to her, as if like she was on Love and Hip Hop last year or like within the last 5 years. Like it's been quite a while. So I would wonder to venture if she's had any therapy. But at any rate, back to Shamea. I put Shamea has good PR. I love how she was making the faces. She was like, you think you're going to get me to say something? And I'm not. I done got so good at looking dead in the eyes. That was funny as fuck. She took me out when she said, I would hope he don't have a baby daddy. And then not when they said, not happy pride. Oh, shit. That was too funny. Who was they talking about when they said that? Did they say, was they talking about, I would hope he don't have a baby daddy. Is he talking about Jarvis? I can't remember. But I don't know. That shit was funny to me. She said, I said, my next bullet point, she not lying about Drew morphing into Portia. And I feel like this is, again, something that y'all probably took clip-wise, on social media and dragged her about. But the truth is, all of us have noticed the Portification of Drew Jordan. Where the fuck did Sadora come from? Sadora, that's not even like Jordan reversed or whatever. Like, where did Sadora come from? Is that her middle name? I don't know. But at any rate, I put Shamea in these faces taking me out. Yeah. And then I put, Gerald has a really great smile. And I like how he embraced Carlos. I did like that. I didn't know how the interaction was going to go. But he, in the end, like, he hugged him. And I was like, okay, that was nice to see. Because with a black man, you don't really know what you're going to get. And then once you add diaspora into that, you really don't know what you're going to get. Not to say the black American men are any better at homophobia, but, you know, I just didn't know how that was going to go. But it was nice to see him embrace him. And it was I said I could see the love as far as Shamea and Gerald go. And I love how he said, y'all need to be asking me how you get a Shamea. I love that. Like, to see him the same way I felt, even though she's getting on my goddamn nerves this season, but the same way I love how Charles Oakley, Angela was in that jersey dress. They were walking out of the building in the rooms that Phaedra ain't in. And they were, you know, he took his little pictures by the limo or whatever, the Uber they was at. But then he told her to get back out, go do your thing. And so she was posing, taking her pictures. I like to see that, especially because it offsets the narratives that these women's husbands, and it's so funny, they could be something they can bond over. But, you know, production, obviously, not that they niggas helped, per se, especially Charles, but production obviously wanted to spin the narrative that both of y'all's men aren't too interested in y'all. And to see them uplift them, I did like that. Both Angela and Charles at that meeting that they were leaving, and then Shamea in this interview with Gerald towards the end. I put, for my next bullet point, Shamea, you're going to have to step into your Kenya bag and cuss these hoes out. Because you're not going to win for losing. You're not going to win perception of the audience. You're not going to win the cast over. I would just, sit pretty and cuss these hoes out accordingly, as need be. And if they want to bring up last year, we can talk about last year. We can talk about any of the years. What's up? I need her to come in on her season 9 bag. When she was ready to read the fuck. She obliterated Phaedra. And the best part is, Phaedra didn't have no rehearsed reads for her ass because she wasn't even, I don't even know if Phaedra knew Shamea was going to hit the stage. You notice that? She had to bring up screwing in the St. Regis and all that. And it's like, all of y'all go to Africa. You the one talking about some hook me up with a rich African. And like, you can't read people with the same shit you got going on. That don't make no damn sense. I think for me, some of the reaches that people are doing, like, oh, she did this to infiltrate Portia's. First of all, Portia, like, yeah, they put her in power as far as the show is concerned, for the better or the worse of it. But this ain't Portia goddamn show at the end of the day. This is a cast ensemble show. I wouldn't give a fuck if me and my friend was on a reality show together. However, I'm not like Portia with my friends. For the people saying that she did this to, play the long game, like Angela, that bullshit, she said, no, baby, that's you playing the long game, cozying up to the woman who said you fuck your husband. But then had the pussy lips to say it in your face when you confronted her 2 minutes later.
Tell her, boo-boo kitty.
I'm she.
Oh, now you can't speak English.
But at any rate, Shamea could have been had a peach. So when people are saying that, she came on to take over, like, I don't understand that, because she could have had a peach season 9, if I'm not mistaken. She said there was multiple times she was asked, but I know for a fact that she got Phaedra asked together at that season 9 reunion. She was definitely asked season 10, but Gerald said no. And then the fact that that's all Portia had to hit her back with when she said, I'm testing for the show, I thought Gerald said no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about how that sounds coming from your supposed to be best friend. I put Portia is envious. I put years. So apparently Shamea said she could have had a peach for years. Like, there's been multiple times she's been offered. But yeah. I put Portia, she's envious of Shamea. And I put Portia is a shit friend. And then I put ask the whole cast. And then I put, I wish Candy or Kenya was on to call out the BS. I wish they was here. Even if it was just a friend overall, just to call out the BS. Because, like, Angela said it best last season, even though now she's one of them. It's Portia's puppets. It's not fun to watch this show. It's not enjoyable. They have nice moments. But overall, like, this formula is not going to get us back to Housewives and how it made us used to feel. The closest thing that I've seen to that in the last few years was the skating ring episode where they all rallied together for Angela and the passing of her mother. But before that, there were little glimpses here and there. K. Michelle and Phaedra fishing. There was a couple other moments in the last few episodes. But for the most part, like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Fire Truly Productions, Truly Original, whatever. This ain't it. This season is more enjoyable, I guess, than last one, I guess. I don't know. Bring my girl Kenya back. Bring back Kim Mora. But yeah, I'm gonna go put these wings on in the air fryer. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Did y'all think, I know some people said Shamea was being manipulative during her interview. There was a couple things I was like, now hold up now, Shamea. But overall, I feel like just even her saying, hey, I said things, I've done things, I've not been perfect. Like, that's more than we're ever going to get from Portia. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below. I will catch y'all on the recap of episode 12. All right, bye, y'all.